To jest też takie, prawda? Wystarczy w takim systemie, który jest tak zbudowany i na krawędzi przyczepności, małe zdarzenie, które go załamuje. Więc przeczytajcie ten artykuł, tam jest bardzo, bardzo ciekawych parę tez postawionych. No dobrze, czyli znaczy ja uważam, że ten panel był sukcesem. Nie ma innego wyjścia. A nawet jeżeli nie był, to my to sobie będziemy próbować wyinterpretować. Bardzo, bardzo Państwu dziękuję za skupienie po lunchu, a uczestnikom
Dziękujemy.
oczywiście. Bardzo, bardzo dziękuję.
Thank you very much. It was a very interesting panel, so it was a success. Okay, we have... I'm glad to say that Professor Tomáš Sedláček from Prague University, from Charles University in Prague, has arrived. He should be coming any second now. He came and then we've lost him again, but I can assure you he will come. Just to give a bit of background information in case you haven't read from the brochure, Professor Tomáš Sedláček, he's a Czech economist, writer and lecturer at Charles University in Prague, chief microeconomic strategist at CSOB, the author of best-selling Economy of Good and Evil, the book awarded with prestigious literary prizes and published in 14 languages. So he will give a 30-minute speech presentation, and then we'll move to the final panel, which he will be a part of as well. So I don't want to let you go, because if I let you go, it's hard to get you all back in, so hopefully we'll start in a second. I'd like to, in the meantime, thank everyone for coming today. I think one of the challenges of an event like this is it a talking shop and nothing changes afterwards, everyone goes home and goes back to work, or does it make a difference to people? And from the feedback I've been getting from attendees, it's made people think about their work, about their lives, and it's actually not often that people get a chance. You have your families, you have your businesses, and people don't often have time to stop and think. And I think an event like this, with a very varied group of people, economists, historians, politicians, and of course senior business people, gives people a range of viewpoints, etc. Okay. Just a few words about myself. My name is Richard Stevens. I am editor-in-chief and founder of Poland Today magazine. We launched 2.5 years ago, and so we are a kind of startup. I'm very much hoping that we will not be in the failure category. Of course, it's a risk. It's very interesting, people saying that you can fail and then pick yourself up again. Sometimes it's not that easy, of course. It depends how much you've put in the first place. And the comments about failure being, let's say, something that in Poland people are not comfortable with, that's a very interesting point of view. Okay. Okay, so today we have our own very own live example of a failure who turned into success, because he failed to catch the plane this morning, but he successfully made it to this conference, and here we are. I'd like to introduce Professor Sedláček from... There we go. Thanks very much.
It's a lot of running for me today. I'm very sorry. I came from Vienna, and you people know as much as we Czechs how treacherous that beautiful city can be historically. And today they betrayed me on traffic. Anyway, I'm here. I'd like to talk to you for about 30 minutes about on something that I call a post-coitum depression, because we always have these two critiques of capitalism, which is actually quite similar to the critique that we have towards European Union. The popular critique is that it has lost meaning, it has lost soul, it is not human. The only thing that remains is a structure, the machine, sort of a zombie economy, and it cannot be controlled, and we both want to insert some sort of ethics and morals and meaning into it. Now, this is the classical reading, and my normal favorite trick is to read the situation exactly in the opposite, and that is, what if we are depressed by capitalism and disappointed by European Union exactly because it already gave us everything it can. Let's imagine that you are milking a cow and that cow no longer gives you any milk, and this person starts hitting the milk, and the cow says, this is of course my fantasy, so in my world cows speak. So the cow opens her mouth and says, why are you beating me? I have already given you all my milk. And look, you don't even know how many baskets you have. Some of them are rotting, some of them are lost, some of them are tilted over, and you are hitting me because I no longer give you more milk. This is, in a way, a picture that I think is suitable for us and our complaints about capitalism and about European Union as such. Now, you could have noticed with the recent development of Greece that there's something that's actually quite interesting. During the middle of the crises, when Greeks were really doing poorly and there was very little optimism, this was the time when Greeks actually elected a rational and reasonable government that was cooperating with the other European structures, and they wanted to do reforms. The government that is actually non-cooperative was elected when things already started getting better. Point number one. How to read this? This, again, is an example of a post-coitum depression. In psychoanalysis, the third or fourth most significant starter trigger of depression is fulfillment of dreams. So let's imagine that you dream about a job position all your life, you achieve, or marrying a certain person, or having a child, or whatever your life fetish is, you achieve the goal, and this leads to people actually quite frequently getting depressed. This is somewhat counterintuitive, but what happens here is that you gain a goal, but what you lose in life is purpose. Now, how can we properly talk about whether European Union and capitalism, whether it already perhaps achieved its goal? Well, what was the purpose of European integration? The purpose of European integration is a little bit easier to answer than what is the purpose of capitalism, but the purpose of European integration was peace through trade. So peace was the goal number one, and trade was a secondary goal, something that we in philosophy call the diminishing mediator, something that is a special purpose vehicle, a secondary objective to help the first objective. Now, do we have peace within the borders of the European Union? Yes. Here, so far, mission accomplished. We have had the longest period of peace ever in the history of this otherwise quite bloody continent. Now, do we have trade in Europe? Yes. The north of Finland is trading with the south of Greece with an historically unprecedented ease. Same regulations, same administration, and they even use the same currency. This is something quite unbelievable. So we do have trade. So from this point of view, one could say that the depression, or we could perhaps phrase it as a question, couldn't we also subversively read the depression and the disappointment that we have from European Union exactly because it achieved its purpose, and if we want something else, we need to redefine the purpose. Now, I'm not saying that everything in Europe is fine, etc., etc. That was never the goal of European integration, but the two goals that were set by the genius of the founding father have been actually accomplished in a way that we ourselves would not be able to dream 20 20 years ago. Now let's talk about capitalism. What is the aim? What is the purpose? What is the goal of capitalism? Well, this never has been properly studied, but let's just here for a second define that capitalism fulfilled its role if a majority of the population of a given country does not have to worry about its existential needs on a regular and daily basis. I know it's not a very good definition, but just for a while, for lack of a better one. So in other words, a society is rich, society is affluent, if you can take your kids to the movies twice a month without having to worry that they will have nothing to eat at the end of your paycheck. If this could be taken as a home run of capitalism, then for majority of the countries, this has been largely fulfilled. Of course, there are still poor people, and this will be always the case. Actually, one of the prophecies of Jesus that actually was fulfilled to the last drop was this one when he tells Judas that you will always have poor among you. And this is true, this prophecy is true even in a society that is 100 or maybe perhaps even 1,000 times richer than Israel or Palestine around the break of BC. So, the complaints that one hears against capitalism are extremely vague. The complaints that one hears about European Union are also quite vague. Now, I have done this small little nice thing, and I took all the advice that we are giving ourselves as to what to reform and what to do so that we